Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome back to this discussion video. Let's just call it like this. As always, I'm going unscripted in this, and I want to talk a little bit about the Nintendo Switch dilemma Switch 2 dilemma that I had over the last couple of weeks. And before I begin with this, I grew up with Nintendo games, like probably the majority of people. Everyone knows Nintendo. Back in the day, I'm an 80s kid. When the PlayStation or the Xbox came to the market and had an impact, grandparents and parents all around the world probably just always said, "You already have a Nintendo, why do you need another one?" Or something like that. It was always just Nintendo, even if it was a Sega Saturn or something like that. And I had all of the mainline consoles. I still have my Wii U Legend of Zelda Edition. I have my Switch OLED Legend of Zelda Edition. And yes, I'm a Zelda fanboy. I love the Legend of Zelda series. Even though with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they're not the games for me, even though I finished them. Well, at least Breath of the Wild. But this comes from a place of love. I want to criticize because I want it to be better. And with the Nintendo Switch 2, this you can feel that the higher ups have changed. They aren't the people that were there a couple of years back. They're new people. I forgot the name of the one who's leading Nintendo right now. I just remember that he has a background in banking, so numbers and not games, which is something that is more common in the video game industry, which is a bad thing. It should be led by people who know numbers but do love games. They even admitted that they do not play video games. I think they tried something on the Wii U or on the Wii. I think it was Wii Tennis or Wii Golf or something like that, but doesn't really matter. The thing here is, right now, the Nintendo Switch 2, they made a calculated risk of, let's see what we can do and let's see what we can push people to and make it a little bit more expensive. Not as many people will buy it, but we will still make a profit out of it, which feels really, really bad. As Nintendo was always the most affordable of all the consoles, and before you start the argument of, yes, but the Xbox is more expensive, the PlayStation is more expensive, yes, but let me show you my regional equivalent. We in Germany have to pay 470 euros for the regular Switch 2 edition, or in the bundle, it's 510 euros. 40 euros more for an 80 euro game that's inside. And that's how they want you to buy this one. They do not want you, well, they do want you to buy the 80 euro Mario Kart edition because it makes them more money. Yes, of course. But also, selling a bundle is the best incentive for you because, oh, it's just half price for Mario Kart. That's awesome. That's nice. No, it's not. Because Donkey Kong is 70 euros, which is also a lot of money. And don't come at me with the argument of, yeah, but inflation, when you do it like this and the math says that and so on. Yes, that's a valid argument. But the value of money that we have right now is not the same as in back then. I have to pay way more stuff right now than my parents had to pay back then. We now have the internet connection. We have to pay television. We have to pay uh, our car, more rent, more stuff. You know this one. I don't have to reiterate this, that we have to pay more for other things as well. And yes, this is basically a luxury to buy a handheld console. or console, whatever you want to call the Switch 2. I do not care. I mean, I care what you think, but I do not care what the terminology for the piece of equipment is. What I also care is that the 80 euro thing, Nintendo is not the first one. Doom Dark Ages was also at 80 euros before Nintendo revealed the prices. Well, they didn't reveal it, it was just on the web page and you have to look it up for yourself. But the thing here is, again, you already heard this one also before. Other companies are doing it as well. Microsoft is doing it. Outer Worlds 2 is 80 bucks, which stings really, really bad as it is not worth 80 euros. As well as what was the name of Randy Pitchford's bullshit game, Borderlands 4, is not worth 80 euros. It's just Destiny with another skin, basically. And with Microsoft, this is also a scheme to get you to subscribe to Xbox Live, not Xbox Live, to Game Pass. As, yeah, well, it is more lucrative for them. Because now they can say, yeah, if you do not want to buy the 80 euro game, the $80 game, just subscribe to Game Pass. Just look, you have so many games here, but you do not own them. Yes, of course, there is again the argument you're just buying a license to play these games and you buy them on Steam so you don't own them physically and so on. There is a lot of arguments. But still, if you do this, that's also not good. I totally understand the value of Game Pass for every single person because it's a lot less money per month. It's a lot of games that you can play, but it's also something that pushes you into this direction. And I really do not like this. Circling back to Nintendo as I digressed. Again, I really, really love Nintendo. I have to show you something in my old apartment from one of my other videos. If you look here in the background, I had two shelves. One is way up there. It's not even visible in the frame. And also my camera is blocking it as well. But this shelf was just Legend of Zelda stuff. On the top shelf, way, way up here, is also just Nintendo and Legend of Zelda stuff. There is a lot. To be fair, these things are now in boxes for, well, I moved here just 2 months ago and I'm not going to unpack them because I'm going to move next year again. And you can see a sloping roof. I just have these two shelves. There is no space to put all my Nintendo stuff back up. Yes, we Germans love to go back to the dwarven times with rock and stone. We love these things. Our houses are sturdy, but I'm a 180 tall dude, and these roofs are not made for me. So yeah, I'm not going to unpack every Nintendo article that I have, but I have a lot. So again, this comes from a place of love. I do understand the appeal of the Switch 2. I pre-ordered it as soon as I was able to. And even though I was an NSO subscriber, I played a lot on my Switch. I did not get an email, which is fine because on the same day I was able to pre-order it on a local store. So I didn't care about the email. But the more I thought about it and the more it cooked for me, I didn't feel well with it. And as of right now, I'm really happy that I cancelled my pre-order because there are broken promises, there are features missing. It seems rushed. The whole release of the Switch 2 just feels like we have to get it out. People are waiting. We have to use the numbers. Something is going to happen in the future if we do not do this. This is the feeling that I have right now, and this is not a good feeling. And Because maybe you have heard, maybe you haven't heard, there are some Nintendo Switch 2s out there with the test firmware out there, so that's a thing. There were some people who got their hands on the Switch 2 earlier because the post office was a little bit faster than usual. The people were happy, they were ecstatic. They opened the box, they wanted to play, and they were not able to because it was just blocked. It's not like the terms of service that whenever you do something to the system, they can brick your system, which is also incredibly anti-customer. I hate consumer. I'm not consuming the product. It's an electronic. I'm not eating it. I'm a customer, goddammit. But it's so anti-customer to, yeah, buy this product for 470 bucks or your regional equivalent. But we might brick it. We don't have to explain why. This does not feel good. I'm not going to do anything to my consoles because I just enjoy them as they are. As I moved here, I could have played on my PlayStation, I could have played on my PC, anything. But as I had no internet, I mean, I have single player games that are offline, but I used my Switch the whole time. So again, this is from a place of love. And with other broken promises like VRR, the variable frame rate is also not there yet. As of recording, earlier today, I saw that it wasn't there still. So I don't know when it will be there. It's nothing big. To be completely honest, it's nothing big. It's still one of the features that's missing. The mouse functionality of the Joy-Cons is not available with many, many games, which feels weird. Which, for me, maybe I missed something there, also feels like a little bit of false marketing. Then there are other things as well. There are so many negatives right now that it really hurts. I'm heartbroken, and I really, really mean that. Again, I love Nintendo. I had almost every console on the market, except for Xboxes. I had the first Xbox, the Xbox 360, and that's it. After that, I stopped because it wasn't. Yeah, they were there. But I had all the PlayStations, I had all the Nintendo consoles. Um, Oh yeah, I had the Sega Saturn and Sega Dreamcast, so it was also something. um, but what Nintendo is doing, again, it just feels so anti-consumer, and I do not want to give them my money for something that I do not stand for. If you have a Switch 2 and you enjoy it, I'm happy for you. I genuinely am. I want people to be happy with the things they are buying and they are enjoying because this is what gaming is for. Mario Kart World is also something that I'm a little bit disappointed with. I watched a lot of videos about it. I watched live streams, and as far as I can tell, the except for the open world where we can basically drive around Hyrule because it's the Breath of the Wild slash Tears of the Kingdom map, basically. The only thing they added is basically just Tony Hawk skateboarding with grinding on rails and everything. But yeah, it feels super weird. The chat functionality, oh my god, please. Uh, the chat functionality, the credit card button is also one of the things that I really do not understand. They want us to pay more money again for the upgrades for other games. Don't let don't get me started with the welcome tour bullshittery that they are doing. It's not worth 10 bucks. It's so not worth 10 bucks. And you can't even do everything if you do not have a USB webcam. Luckily, you don't need the official Nintendo webcam for it. But if you do not have a webcam, you apparently can't do everything, which also feels kinda weird. Which, I mean, okay, but still. And the minigames are really not that fun. I mean, I don't want to compare frame rates. If I want to move my mouse around, I can do that with my mouse or my PC. I can do that with my phone. I can put it on the side and slide it around. I don't know. Then again, the Joy-Cons are prone to have a drift, which also does really not feel good. It's like they did not learn anything. At least the LCD screen is apparently fine. As far as I can tell, it might be fine. I don't know. I would still prefer an OLED. And again, Nintendo was always the most affordable option. The games were affordable, they were of high quality, and they sold like hotcakes because they were amazing. But Nintendo themselves, they did not publish a big first party game in a while. I mean, yes, we now have Mario Kart World. We will get Donkey Kong Bonanza or whatever it's called. At the end of the year, we will get Metroid 4 or whatever number it was, which looks great, by the way. It really does. And Metroid was the game that really, really hooked me. Donkey Kong was, okay, that's going to be fun. But it's just so much money for a handheld console. The appeal of playing third-party games on a Switch 2, I also get that one. But here is my other point. You can choose your own Steam Deck. And this is basically totally comparable to the Switch 2, as it also has a 256 gigabyte internal hard drive, not hard drive, SSD. Yes, the screen is a little bit worse. That's totally fine. I mean, the Steam Deck is a little bit older. If you want another handheld, there is still the ROG Ally, there's still a Lenovo Legion Go. You have the Legion Go with Steam OS. Now Microsoft is doing a handheld with ROG Ally or whatever the company is called. I do not care. But there are so many other options for third-party games. I will buy myself a Steam Deck as soon as I have my paycheck at the end of the month. And even when I buy this one, the OLED one with 512 gigabytes, it's still way less money to spend on this for games that I can install on the handheld. Because if I want to upgrade my Switch 2, let us check. What was the Express card? It's 60 euros again for another 256 gigabytes. Okay, wait, I was wrong. I admit it, I was wrong. You pay a little bit more for the OLED version here. But it's an OLED version. And you have Steam. That's the biggest part. Apparently, as I have seen, Cyberpunk runs better on the Steam Deck than on the Switch 2. Just let that one sink in. This is really, really weird for me. Because third-party developers, I don't know. I'm just heartbroken again. This comes from a place of love. I want Nintendo to be better. This is the first console of Nintendo that I'm not going to buy. Maybe in the upcoming years, maybe if they bring out another OLED version with a Legend of Zelda print on it. Maybe. But with everything they've shown us right now, not only in reveal trailers and everything. What I mean with what they have shown us is with their behavior. Their behavior is really not something that I want to award with my money. I don't want to give money to a behavior that I can't stand behind. Yes, Steam is also not free of taint. No big company is. No person in the world is. No one is free of taint. We are all sinners here. um, but if I have to choose from the lesser evil, I choose Steam in this instance. But that's just my take. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. I'm excited for a healthy discussion here. So, thank you so much for watching. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated, my friend. Do all the YouTube stuff, or we may never see each other again. And I will see you in the next video and or live stream every day in the evening, German time. On YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, Beard Almighty, or Beard Almighty Gaming. Bye! Have a great one. Bye! Tomorrow, Stellar Blade on PC. Bye! Bye!